All right, here's the race bike of the day. This is the Winspace Aeroframe integrated handlebar cockpit with the Winspace carbon spoked wheels. Full Dura-Ace group set. To get yours, go to Winspace, use promo code SmoothPeddler10 and save some money. So this is what is this? Leesville Gap Road Race. This is after the Gap formed. This is about 25 miles into a 62-mile road race, and we missed the selection. There's 8 guys up the road. This is Masters 35 and 45, 1, 2, 3 combined, scored separate, and there was a really good climb, or bad climb, depending on how you look at it. I guess it was bad for me and for everyone here in the rear view, but I was the 9th wheel, and there was no one behind me about halfway up the climb, and I just couldn't hold it. I think I just trained a little too hard this week. Probably have some fatigue from the stage race in Oregon last weekend. Whatever the case, I dialed it back. I fell back to this group, and so there's a group of us here chasing. The problem is, let's see, there's Pete's. This is Jay Newton, I think, in the rear view. Here's the motor ref to give us some really awesome news. That the gap is up to, like, I think 3 minutes or something. But so Pete's has guys in the break. Thirsty Bear has guys in the break. And so really in this group of 6 or 7 of us here, the only ones that have any motivation to take any turns on the front are myself, fellow Kings. I have one teammate, George Chortis, aka Smooth Peddler 10, the promo code guy. My Winspace and Lactico hookup, and yours too if you want. So it's me, it's the younger and fitter Tyler Yonke, aka Stefan, sitting on the front there. And then Phil from Cortex is kind of sitting in the back. And I don't know if maybe he didn't have any Benadryl. I figured he must be allergic to wind because he sat in for quite a while here, and really could have used his legs up front, but you'll kind of see how that unfolds here. So again, this is probably mile 30, so we're just about halfway through. A couple more climbs, and then a couple long descents, and then some crosswind and farmland. I got Michael Claudio in the rear view. Thirsty Bear 35 plus. He had Ariel Herman, and I think there was another. Oh, and Jason Graffath, teammates. Jason 45 plus. Claudio's got some interesting tire choice. There was some gravel sections here, but he's rocking like some IRC. I don't know, like 38 sand tires. He went really good in the gravel, but man, I just seemed like it was probably not a great choice of tire for pavement, for on the flat sections, descents, etc. Good dude, solid dude. Been racing a lot of gravel this year and killing it. And there's Phil right there, black kit, S-Works black frame bike. And I think we're going to be coming up to first little climb here. It's nice to be able to edit down a 3-hour road race into a little 25-minute video for you guys. So, GoPro front and rear probably didn't do me any favors on the climb. The only guy with a real aeroframe bike in a road race that had, I think, 8 or 9 miles of legitimate gravel, and by legitimate I mean crap, like really soft sandy stuff where you can kind of generally point your bike in a direction, but you don't have any real finite skill or control over it. But I had never done this race before. I created a ride with GPS file and put it on my Garmin, so I had the Climb Pro. except that the screen went off magically on the climb, on the biggest climb, where, not that it would have made a difference. I don't think it would have made pedal any harder. So there's Jay from Pete's. There's Stefan, one of the guys that was working with me at Copperopolis. That was also a 35-45 combined, scored separate. I did much better at Copperopolis. Missed the solo breakaway on that one, and rolled in for second in the 45s. But we're fighting for, I guess, maybe 6th place in the 45s now, because there's 5 45s, I think, and 3 35 plus guys. They're up the road. They got 3 minutes on us. But again, no real motivation from the majority of the folks in this group, aside from younger, fitter Tyler Yonke, aka Stefan, and myself up to this point. I guess Phil put some effort in here. I think maybe he was worried about getting popped off on these next 2 climbs and was trying to maybe conserve a little bit. I'm not sure who the other Pete's guy is. I feel like I should know, because I don't know, world champion armbands. That's pretty legit. It seems like you're the odd man out on Pete's if you don't have Stars and Stripes or world champ armbands. I don't know, Jay Newton, what's going on there? He's the guy in front of me here. Now we're heading up this climb, and he kind of hits it with a little bit of gusto. I'm sitting on his wheel, 340, 350, 360. I think I tried to go around him just to get in front of him to kind of slow him down a little bit, because he didn't have any motivation on the flats, but now on the hills he's kind of trying to drill. So I don't know if he was trying to kind of sneak away and maybe the other Pete's guy with him, but I was on him pretty good here. I think this is the first big descent too, because we kind of climbed the big climb and then not much of a descent, just kind of flattened out for, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 miles, and then a couple more little climbs here, and then it starts the kind of the downhill progression back to the start finish. So this was just a single loop. It was like a 62-mile loop, but we're almost to the top, and now I'm doing 420, 440. Come on, bro. Let's ease into it. There's the guy that spit off from another field. He's not even in our race, the guy up ahead. But I think we're almost to the top, and looks like we've dropped Michael Claudio in the rear view. We've got Phil hanging on, and Pete's guy still there. Looks like he's working a little bit out of the saddle, trying to stay with it. So now there's just 4 of us, I guess, from this chase group. I think Stefan got popped off on this climb too, I guess. I wasn't looking behind me. I was either first or second wheel, so here I'm sitting in front of Jay, trying to pretend like I'm pulling, but really what I was trying to do is slow the pace a little bit. Of course, nice guy that he is, I think he's half wheeling me. He comes around me. I'm like, whatever. We're almost to the top now. I can see it's right through this little saddle, this little draw. I think the end is inside. I thought maybe it turned left there and continued up, but no, that's the top right there on the horizon. And so I can descend pretty good. So I figure I'll give him whatever that is, and probably come around. It looks like I got Phil kind of sitting on my left hip here too. He might even come through. There he goes. I kind of jump around on his wheel. And these descents, man, they're my jam. I got this descent thing wired pretty good, so everyone says I descend like I'm 200 pounds. I'm like, $165, whatever. But I just get really low and compact and break all those dirty UCI rules, top tube it, because we can. This isn't a UCI race. This is a USAC race, and you can see I'm coming after you, Jay. Got you in my gun sights here. What, 46 miles an hour? This was hella bumpy, by the way. So props to the Winspace Hyper 50 wheels that I was running. IRC RBC Light 25 millimeter tires. Probably could have 28s would have probably been better for the gravel sections, but I'm trusting these tubeless tires and these, the whole setup, because this is definitely a literal shakedown run for the Winspace bike. But I think I hit 50 miles an hour here or something. I'll throw the descent times of the day. But this bike is fast. It's 38 centimeter width bars at the hoods, and I got them turned in a little bit. So all internally routed, Di2 disc, all internal. And so I come around here with some fury here. You're in a match for me, Jay. I think Jay's Strava name is Fatty McFattykins or something. He's got a picture of who's the fat kid from Goonies? I want to say Chunk. Anyway, he's not fat. I don't know what he's saying, but we're definitely opening up a gap on the rest of the guys here. I think it's like a 2.5 mile descent, but cooking pretty good. And again with the I guess GoPro, I think they're the Hero 8 GoPro cameras, front and rear. What happened to my rear camera? There it is. But with the image stabilization, it doesn't really do any justice at all for how rough this descent was. It wasn't quite Copperopolis, but figured if I could make it down that, then I can, kind of rail this thing pretty good. Ended up getting fastest time on the day on the descent here. Kind of see my chin right there on the top of the screen because I got my chest across the bars there, and I'm top tube tucking just like Jay is. But there I hit 50. I think that might have been terminal velocity on this. I might have hit 51 or 2. I'm gonna look at the Strava to see. But yeah, let's go fast downhill and try not to hit too big of a hole, especially with your chest on the bars. So you kind of have to use more, I guess, bicep and kind of suspend your chest just over your bars and be light on the bike and whatever. And then I just went ahead and spit on Jay right there or something. Sorry about that, Jay. I thought you were on the other side of me. I'm vaccinated. I told him it was like a free booster shot for him, so he was a good sport about it. But
I'm glad I didn't do it on the climb then, because you're fucking flying up that thing.
Yeah, he was flying up the climb. He gave me kudos on the descent, but and there's Phil kind of rolling in. So yeah, I mean, there is no one in sight behind us. Unfortunately, there's none of the front group in sight ahead of us either. They're probably a mile, maybe a mile and a half up the run. They think the gap held at like 3 minutes or 3:10 for the rest of the race. We're getting some time gap updates from Mark Franklin, who's the moto ref here. But just trying to get down this descent. Figured I'd stay on the front because, why not? It's downhill. Kind of levels off and elbow these guys through. It's not comfortable to stay in the top tube like that for too long, especially with the bumps. So it's nice to be able to sit up and sit on a wheel in a draft, and because we're still cruising. We're at 30, 31 miles an hour, I guess, 30. starting to flatten out here, and I think we get some more kind of right to left crosshead wind a little bit. Not terrible, but always nicer to sit in than tow everyone around. I got. So yes, I started the GoPros with like what I thought would be about an hour left in the race, and batteries were nice and charged, and so actually I got an hour and 15 minutes of recording off my GoPro batteries, so I felt good about that. But I edited out. You can see the map here on the top right. That's what's left of the course. See where the red dot is, and I think here in a couple minutes we'll cut to really just the finish, and you can see it's that last kind of horizontal line at the bottom there of the map or course profile. But yeah, basically, I think Phil and I were taking polls, and Jay was saying, "Man, I got two guys in the break," and we're going, "Yeah, but it's 3 minutes." And he's saying, "But yeah, but what if one of them falls off the back?" And I drag you guys up to him. I'll never hear the end of it, and blah blah blah. Yeah, that's cool. But when the gap stayed at 3 minutes, and we got to like 10 miles to go, 8 miles to go, I'm like, all right, come on, Jay, take some pulls here, man. But my legs felt pretty good. I didn't have it for that climb. I think I was too active. Excuse me, before the climb, and didn't conserve quite enough. I definitely wanted to sit on the front in that longer gravel section, just in case I went down. I'd rather go down because I suck instead of someone in front of me going down because they suck. And I don't think anyone actually went down, so I think we got a feed zone and then maybe one more little climb here, and then it's kind of all gravy. But feed zone was nice. Got reloaded quick. Got a nice big bottle there. Kind of did what Jay did the old pour it on your head, pour it on your shoulders, pour it on your legs, take a big gulp, and chuck it to the side. This is, I think, really the last climb. It's, I guess 9% there for a minute, 7%, just kind of 8%. But it's a short one. I mean, you could see the horizon. So yeah, Jay didn't have any problem drilling it up the hill. He just didn't want to drill it on the flats. I mean, we're 3 days racing for 6th place. So what are you gonna do? Well, you're gonna try to get 6th is what you do, I guess. That's what I tried to do. We'll see how that unfolds here in about 3 more minutes. So. It was starting to get hot out, but I've been riding out in the heat. According to Garmin, I'm 100% heat adapted, whatever that metric means.
I got you.
I think we got one more descent here now. This one wasn't quite as rough as the other one. A little more gradual too. I mean, it's just getting pretty low. If I'm halfway in frame with my chin, and the GoPro's mounted underneath my Garmin, like I'm looking down at my hub when I look down. It's free speed. But yeah, I was really pleased with the Winspace. Um, I raced in a road race in a crit up in Oregon last weekend. Still ride my tarmac. It's a little more comfortable on longer rides. These bars are pretty narrow at 38. I have 40s on the tarmac, so it's narrow too. But tarmac's probably I don't know, a few ounces lighter. Um, but this just feels so aero. I mean, the cockpit is so clean. It's pretty aggressive riding position to have it set up. It corners really well. It's super stiff. Um, I feel like when you're putting watts through it, it's transferring it all to the ground. So um, it's a good bike, and maybe overkill going with the Dura Ace group set, on a Winspace bike. But honestly, I think Winspace, their price point's probably too low. They could probably get away with charging a lot more, but I think they're trying to put it out there. I'm not the YouTuber that picks stuff apart but doesn't race bikes. I kind of race bikes, and bikes kind of secondary. So I know there's guys out there, and I don't know how many views this video will get from people that don't even race bikes, but like gear geeks or whatever, follow everything Winspace, because they love them or because they hate them and they want to hate on them, whatever. I've been pleased with it. So yeah, George told me to throw up a little screenshot. This was the KOM on the descent, so you can see I'm fastest of the day there. Um, Faster than SL7s on the descent, faster than Chris Reichert on the descent. He would blow my doors off on the flats and definitely on the climb. But this is 1K to go, and I think Jay was trying to save it for the finish. But I'm just sitting on his wheel here, and I can't remember which way the wind's blowing. I think it was a little right to left, but it wasn't bad. So I think I wait. I don't even look back. I don't know where Phil is on my wheel. I can see now he's back a little bit, but I think he closes it up to me. But this is 200 to go. I kind of just light it up and go here. Coming up soon. There it is. 200 to go. Maybe that might have been 300 sign. I think it was 2. Anyway, I give it a nice sprint. I got decent. I don't know, hit 1200 or something. Not terrible, not great. Pretty good. So that was the Lease Gap Road Race. So I crossed the line 6th place because 5 of the 45s made that selection on that first big climb. I was not one of them. Jason Graffath ended up winning. I think Pete's got 2nd and 4th, and Touchstone, Jonathan Baker Company, I think got 3rd and 5th. So I think I slow down for these guys to catch up here. But yeah, really happy with the bike. This was a pretty long drive. Got up at 3:30 in the morning to be on the road at 4 to drive to Williams, California, which is damn near to Red Bluff, but from Fresno. But got home about 3:30 in the afternoon. 4th of July tomorrow. Gonna go to the beach with the family, watch fireworks, and good stuff. So I think I soft pedal for these guys to catch up. Tell them good race.
Thanks, man. We're riding with you. I'm Jay, by the way. Mark, yeah. Jay? Yeah. What's your last name? Newton. Okay. You're that Jay Newton. The one that always falls off the back.
Jay Newton, the one that always falls off the back. And there's Phil from Cortex.
All right. All right, Phil. Okay, man. Glad it's over.
So I got 2 or 3 miles, maybe 2 miles back to the station area. From here,
Yeah, it's funny because most people misspell my name. They think it's with an F, not a T. And
there's my Tucker
I
jug.
don't know,
Yeah.
it's just weird.
So check out Winspace. Thanks, guys.